I'm Alexandra Twiss, and I'm presenting speech number 2 for speech 1315, and here's my audience. Okay, thank you all for coming out last minute to listen to my speech. I'm here to tell you why you should travel to the Russian Federation. Russian Federation has a great culture of family and great architect and art. If you allow yourself to travel there, or if you take the opportunity and you truly engulf yourself in the culture and the art, you will not only enrich yourself, but help expand your horizons. I'm going to first tell you about the geographical aspects of the area, and then I will tell you about the cultural aspects, and finally I will inform you about the travel and what to expect and what prices you might anticipate. Now that you're informed, let's start our journey together. This is the geographical aspects, as I said. I found this information on Culturalgrams and CIA World Factbook. Russia is located in Asia. As you can see, it's a vast country, very large. Most of the population is isolated in urban areas. The capital of Russia is Moscow. Now to some of the finer details. 78% of the Russian Federation population is Russian, born Russian, always lived in Russia. They speak Russian, and they are members of the Russian Orthodox Church. As you can see, very prideful of who they are, very rich history. Most Russians are very poor. The GDP per capita for the Russian population is $18,000. To put that into perspective, the U.S. GDP per capita is about $52,000. So there's a big difference there. The currency rate, for $1 you get about 50 rubles. If you travel to the Russian Federation, you will get a lot of bang for your buck. The main mode of transportation to the natives to the Russian Federation would be subway, any sort of public transit, except for taxis. Taxis are very rare because all taxis have to register with the Russian government, which causes them to be a higher cost. Most people cannot afford taxis in the Russian Federation. The Russian Federation has had a very militaristic history for their government. Now they're a democratic republic. It's really done a lot of reform for the country as a whole. The Democratic Republic of the Russian Federation only requires a general visa for you to be able to travel there. The waiting period for a general visa is about 1 week, so it's not that long at all. Now that you have the nitty-gritty details of it all, let's go over some more fun stuff. This would be the cultural aspects of the Russian Federation. Russians in general are very structured people. They like direction, and they reflect that in their art. The art that they're most popular for would be dance and ballet, of course. They definitely set the precedent for ballet. There's also a popular dance in Russia. Many of us have seen it on movies. It's kind of a stereotypical dance. It's the chosik. It's a high energy dance performed by a lot of males on a stage. They do a lot of jumping around, kicking their feet out. Also, their art would be architecture. Their architecture is very famous. Even though it kind of looks like Candyland here, it's actually the Russian Orthodox churches that most people come to see. While you're in Russia, a couple things that you should definitely visit would be Moscow, their capital. They have a lot of great agriculture there, the architecture there. That's where you will find the Russian Orthodox churches. You should also visit Arbat Street, which is the main tourist spot. You'll find a lot of souvenirs there, and you will be able to see the theater and the dances. A big part of the Russian culture is food, lots of food. So they make food in excess when they have guests over. They make feasts that are larger for them or their guests to eat in over a week's time. Within that feast, you will always find a round loaf. That round loaf is supposed to mean prosperity and happiness and long life. Now, travel. What should you expect from travel? Travel, most popular way is through plane. You can also go by boat, hot air balloon, Zeppelin, whatever you would like. While you're in Russia, it will be easy to get around. You can take advantage of their public transit system that most people do. Best thing is, it's low cost in terms of international travel. The expected cost per person would be about $2,500, which is really cheap. So, now that I know you're wanting to go to the Russian Federation, let me remind you that it's a beautiful country with great culture and a lot to benefit from. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you visit there.